In our lifetime, we absorb facts, information, and skills. We get our theoretical and practical understanding through education and experience. It's called knowledge. Welcome to television's longest running high school quiz show, Knowledge Bowl. Let's join two of our 16 competing Northeast Michigan high schools and our host, Astrid Fitzpatrick, for today's match.
Hello and welcome to Knowledge Bowl, Michigan's longest running quiz show. I'm your host, Astrid Fitzpatrick. Today our game is between Onaway and Whittemore Prescott, and we'll start by introducing our teams, beginning with Onaway.
Hi, my name's Thomas Anglin, and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Elena Madison. I'm a senior.
Hi, my name is Vidalia Letts. I'm a junior.
Hi, my name's Katie Adair. I'm a sophomore.
Noel Nash, junior.
Taylor Erkey, junior.
And they're joined by their coach, Steve Watson. And our team from Whittemore Prescott?
Katie Mervin, senior.
Megan Blues, junior.
Autumn Foreman, junior.
Aria Limbach, junior.
Zane Aldridge, sophomore.
And they're joined by their coach, Dave Mervin. I'd also like to thank our judge, Matthew Fitzpatrick, for being here today. Our first round is the toss-up round, but before we start that, here are the rules.
Round 1 is a toss-up format. A question will be asked, and the first competitor to ring in has the opportunity to answer the question. If a correct answer is given, the team is awarded 10 points. No consulting is allowed. If the answer is incorrect, then the question goes to the opposing team to answer.
All right, let's get started. In what novel by Hemingway is Thomas Hudson the lonely and almost broken hero who is finally killed while trying to assist refugees in the area of Cuba? Right, the correct answer was Islands in the Stream. E pluribus unum is the Latin motto that since 1873 has been printed on one side of every U.S. coin. Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, and Thomas Jefferson suggested the motto in 1776 for use in what other U.S. symbol? Aria?
What is the U.S. dollar bill?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Onaway? The correct answer was the Great Seal of the United States. Of the planets which can appear brighter than first magnitude to an earthbound observer, which is farthest from the sun? Thomas?
Jupiter.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Whittemore? Katie?
Saturn.
That's correct. A codfish lays 10,000 eggs a day silently. A hen lays one egg and cackles. Nobody eats codfish eggs. Everybody eats hen eggs. What British wit made this comment on the value of publicity? Thomas?
Winston Churchill.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Whittemore? The correct answer was George Bernard Shaw. In which of the following U.S. cities does the most rain fall? Seattle, Portland, Katie?
Seattle.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, Miami, or Columbus? Elena?
Portland.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer was Miami. What did Will Durant describe as the nucleus of civilization? Thomas?
Government.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Whittemore? The correct answer was the family. What legal precedent in common law was affirmed in the trial of John Peter Zenger? The correct answer was that a defamatory statement is not libelous if it is proved to be true. In a leap year, we add an extra day to our calendar. What is added in the Hebrew calendar during one of its leap years? Elena?
A month.
That's correct. The Beatles anthology was an attempt by the three surviving Beatles to publish their own written record. Name the three surviving Beatles. The correct answer was Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, and George Harrison. Its predecessor was created in 1926 as part of the Department of Commerce. It came into being in 1958, then became part of the Department of Transportation in 1966. Early issues included noise standards, hijacking, and air traffic control. Name this arm of the U.S. government that regulates sky transportation. Elena?
The Air Force.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Whittemore? And the correct answer was the Federal Aviation Administration. Which U.S. Army group is sometimes called the Weekend Warriors? Aria?
The Marines.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Onaway?
The
Thomas?
Rangers.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer was the Reserves or the National Guard. What five-syllable term refers to Lutherans, Presbyterians, Anglicans, Baptists, Methodists, Congregationalists, and other subsets of Protestants? And the correct answer was denominations. The elder wrote natural history, and the younger, his nephew and adopted son, was known for his books of letters. Name these classical authors. And the correct answer was Pliny. If your soil is too acidic, add lime. If it's too alkaline, add this yellow element. Can you name it? Megan?
Sulfur.
That's correct. Which of the following leaders regularly corresponded with Voltaire, Baron von Grimm, and Diderot? Cleopatra, Indira Gandhi, Queen Victoria, Catherine the Great, or Isabella of Castile? Elena?
Cleopatra.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Aria?
Gandhi.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer was Catherine the Great. Give the word and its spelling. Doctors know the bones in your digits and fingers as what? Katie?
Phalanges. Phalanges.
That's correct. The ultimate NCAA penalty for college football infractions is banning the sport for a year or two. It's called the death penalty. Name the school which, in 1987, became the first to suffer the death penalty. The correct answer was a Southern Methodist University. What German Army service pistol was superseded by the Walther in 1938? And the correct answer is the Luger. Name two of the three principal American negotiators of the treaty which ended the Revolutionary War. Thomas?
Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Whittemore? Aria?
Grant and Lincoln.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The answers we would have accepted were Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, and John Jay. That's all we have for our first round. We'll be right back with some updated scores. Hey, welcome back. So far, I've got Onaway with a score of 20 and Whittemore Prescott with a score of 20. Our next round is the bonus round, but before we start that, here are the rules.
This is the bonus round. It consists of toss-up questions, as in round 1. However, this is the twist. The team answering correctly then gets 4 bonus questions. For each question answered correctly, a series of points will be awarded. Team members can consult, but only the team captain can answer the question. After an incorrect answer, the toss-up portion begins again for both teams.
An eighth note is marked by one flag on its stem. How many does a 32nd note have? Elena?
3.
That's correct. Right, these are geography questions. In which state is the Petrified National Park?
Arizona.
That's correct. In which state are the Finger Lakes?
Minnesota.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer was New York. Nitrogen oxides and hydrocarbons are 2 of the 3 major harmful emissions of automobiles. What gas is the third? Aria?
Carbon dioxide.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Elena?
Carbon monoxide.
That's correct. Okay, many figures of speech in our language are based on classical mythology. I'll give you the meaning and you give me the phrase or word. A long voyage or wanderings.
Exploration.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer was Odyssey. The central concentration of stars and gas at the center of the galaxy is referred to by what name? Elena?
Sun.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Whittemore? The correct answer was the nucleus. In politics, advance agreement by legislators to vote for one another's bills is called what? The correct answer was log rolling. Translate into English the following French phrase, tout ensemble. The correct answer was the whole taken together. In the 1800s, Lucy Stone was one of the early advocates of equal rights for women. What did she do to symbolize her beliefs? She became the first American woman to do this, and those who follow her example are called Lucy Stoners. Elena?
Not Mary.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Whittemore? The correct answer was that she kept her maiden name after marriage. The mercantilist goal of a favorable balance of trade can best be explained as A, opposition to the founding of colonies, B, the desire to establish international tariff agreements, C, the desire to balance imports and exports, D, the desire to have more imports than exports, or E, the desire to have more exports than imports. Thomas?
The desire to have more exports than imports?
That's correct. Okay, identify these famous firsts. Name the first book printed by Gutenberg. Oh, these are for Onaway.
The Bible?
That's correct. What is forbidden by the first commandment? Okay. The correct answer was idolatry. In terms of loss of life, the worst natural disaster in U.S. history occurred in 1900. What type of disaster was it, and in what Texas city did it occur? Thomas?
Earthquake in Dallas?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Whittemore? Yeah, the correct answer was a hurricane in Galveston. The sine of x equals 2 over 5. What is the cosecant of x?
Five over
Fidelli?
2.
I'm sorry, what?
5 over 2.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Whittemore? Katie?
4 over 2.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The answer we were looking for was 2.5. This is a device for accurately measuring temperature. It consists of 2 dissimilar metals bonded together at 2 joints in a loop. What is its name? Thomas?
Barometer?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Whittemore? Aria?
Barometer.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was thermocouple. The narrow Bali Strait separates Bali from what island? The correct answer was Java. A plane flying directly from Sudan to Niger would have to cross the airspace of what other nation? Thomas?
Egypt?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Whittemore? Yeah, the correct answer was Chad. Okay. In what scientists hope will be a milestone along the road to understanding all human genes, researchers have deciphered the entire genetic blueprint of the Drosophila melanogaster, better known as what common insect? Aria?
A mosquito.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Onaway? Elena?
A fly. A house fly. I don't know.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer was the fruit fly. Who steals my name is bad enough. Who steals my numbers should rot in hell. What kind of high-tech theft got NPR's Daniel Score so worked up? Katie?
Identity theft.
That's correct. Okay, I'll define some cooking terms, and you give me the verbs. To cut into very small cubes.
Dice?
That's correct. To let stand in a spicy mixture.
Base.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer was marinate. After a complaint by a group of African American ministers, members of the Enid, Oklahoma School District Committee recommended the removal of which Mark Twain novel from the required high school reading list? Aria?
The Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
Judges? No, sorry, that's incorrect. Onaway?
Huckleberry Finn.
Oh, that's correct. These questions are about state capitals. New York State is the birthplace of both Theodore Roosevelt and Franklin D. Roosevelt. What city is the capital of that state?
Albany.
That's correct. The largest city in Iowa is located at the junction of the Raccoon River and another river that gives it its name.
Des Moines.
Des Moines.
That's correct. The auto industry has been an important part of what capital city since 1897?
Lansing.
That's correct. And this city and Wheeling passed the honor back and forth. Finally, in 1877, the city was chosen as the permanent capital.
Lansing.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer was Charleston. And that's all we have for our second round. We'll be right back with some updated scores. All right, welcome back. So far we've got Onaway with a score of 115 and Whittemore Prescott with a score of 20. We're also joined by alternate Zane Aldrich on Whittemore Prescott's side. Our next round is the 60-second round, but before we start that, here are the rules.
This is our 60-second round. The team with the lowest score selects from one of the 4 categories of 10 questions. The team that has 60 seconds to answer as many questions as possible. Each correct answer is worth 10 points. Any missed questions will then be answered by the opposing team. An additional 20-point bonus is awarded for answering all 10 questions correctly.
All right, and we're starting with Whittemore Prescott, who's chosen the category pro and con. Each answer begins with pro or con. Greek god who gave fire to mankind.
Prometheus.
That's correct. Site of the second clash of the American Revolution, April 19, 1775 in Massachusetts.
Pass.
The goal of the classical communism was the dictatorship of the
Community.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Also known as Byzantium.
Pass.
Robert La Follette's 1924 political party.
Pass.
Spanish name for the likes of Cortez and Pizarro.
Conquistadors.
That's correct. We meet Harry Bailey in this part of the Canterbury Tales. Okay, and Onaway. Site of the second clash of the American Revolution, April 19th, 1775.
Concord.
That's correct. The goal of the classical communism was the dictatorship of the,
Pass.
okay, also known as Byzantium.
Pass.
Okay. Robert La Follette's 1924 political party.
Protagonist.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. And then we'll go to Onaway, who's chosen the category Where Is It? Where is Mecca?
Saudi Arabia.
That's correct. In what famous French palace will you find the Hall of Mirrors?
Versailles.
That's correct. Mount Parnassus is located in what country?
Spain.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. You'd look for a sideboard in what part of the house?
Computer room.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The European Center for Nuclear Research, known as CERN, is located in what Swiss city? Right. And Whittemore. Mount Parnassus is located in what country?
Greece.
That's correct. And you'd look for a sideboard in what part of the house?
Utility.
Kitchen.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. That's all we have for our 60-second round. We'll be right back with some updated scores. All right, welcome back. So far, I've got Onaway with a score of 145 and Whittemore Prescott with a score of 50. Our next round is a toss-up round, just like the first round, so we'll go ahead and get started. All of the following are styles of what? William and Mary, Queen Anne, Hepplewhite, and Chippendale. Elena?
Restaurant?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Whittemore? Katie?
Shoes.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer was furniture. The length of a side of a square is 5. Find in simplest form the ratio of the length of the side of the square to the length of a diagonal of the square. Okay, the correct answer was square root of 2 to 2. Borodin, the illegitimate son of a Russian prince, died before finishing his opera about this prince. Give me the title. Okay, the correct answer was Prince Igor. Name the children of England's King George VI. Elena?
George the Seventh?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Whittemore? Katie?
Henry.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was Queen Elizabeth II and Princess Margaret Rose. In 1963, the United States ended a border dispute with Mexico that began nearly 100 years earlier when the channel of the Rio Grande shifted. The agreement involved an exchange of land near what Texas city? Zane?
San Antonio.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Onaway? That's correct. That's in 1839, a border dispute arose between a Canadian province and a state of the United States. Name them. Thomas?
Michigan and Ontario.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Zane?
Alaska and the Yukon.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was New Brunswick and Maine. What type of advertising research uses knowledge from psychology, sociology, and other social sciences to try to learn why people choose things they buy? Aria?
Consumer expectation.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Onaway? The answer we were looking for was motivation research or psychographic research. After getting lost in Frankfurt, Germany 3 times in one day, I thought, keiner ist so dumm. What was I thinking? Elena?
Why am I so stupid?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Whittemore? The correct answer was nobody is that stupid. Identify either a nation or a national capital in anglicized spelling that contains 3 dotted letters in a row. Right, and we would have accepted Fiji or Beijing. The U.S. acquired California by treaty only 9 days after what event? Zane?
The Alamo.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Onaway? Elena?
The Missouri Compromise?
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was the gold was discovered at Sutter's Mill. A very fast train runs from A to B in an hour and a quarter, but on the return trip, it takes 75 minutes under identical conditions. Why? Zane?
Same time.
That's correct. Acid rain is the term for precipitation that has been polluted by sulfur dioxide. Give me the common name for calcium oxide, which can be added to polluted lakes to neutralize them. Zane?
Chlorine.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Onaway? The correct answer was lime. Spell the word beginning with S that means narrow and is usually applied to a narrow body of water separating two pieces of land. Zane?
A strait. Oh, Strait.
That's correct. A person with blood type O can only accept blood from a person of which blood type? Thomas?
O negative.
Judges? Okay, that's correct. What term is used derisively by microcomputer vendors to describe large computers which they consider outdated, cumbersome, and unwieldy? Katie?
Dinosaurs?
That's correct. Name the 5 consecutive positive integers whose sum is 170. The correct answer was 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36. What American inventors company displayed the first commercial motion picture machine at the World's Columbian Exposition in 1893? Thomas?
Thomas Edison.
That's correct. And that's all we have for our 4th round. We'll be right back with the final scores. Okay, welcome back. Our final scores are Onaway with 185 and Whittemore Prescott with 70. So congratulations to our winners today from Onaway. Join us next week when we'll have Ogama Heights versus Whittemore Prescott. And I'll leave you with a quote from Carl Jung: "Knowledge lies not in truth alone, but in error also. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's why they put the little erasers on pencils." Have a nice day.